I just turned it on. It's okay if you talk, just didn't want you to. Yeah.
Neither one replied, and I said, no is not an answer. You know. She's sitting there snippet. I cannot wait to go.
It's going to be no, huh?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
We'll shop for the you go high. Do the school play with me.
Got a huge puppet the size of a car in it. Awesome.
show me to get out,
Oh my God, that's
get out of here. Want somebody say, get out of here. Someone give me my shot, or I'll rot here. Get out of here. Start climbing uphill. Get out of here. I will get out of here. I'll start climbing. Get out of here. Show me smell to get out of here. We gotta go out and get out of here. Everybody has to get out to get out of here. I know I don't know what to get out of here. I don't know what to get out of here. People tell me that I'm way out of here. Don't believe me, I gotta get out of here.
I'm sorry. That's my being late.
Maybe what
Alright, we're going to go ahead and get started.
Has been tingling around.
If you got here, and hopefully make up a little bit of your evening left. So there's a lot of people here, which is great to see. Kids that are here, you have probably heard some of this before when we get into the history and different things like that. But I'm Dustin Cheekerson, I'm the principal here. This is my 4th year here, my 9th as a principal, and my 15th year.
I'm Tom Manning, I'm the principal and the athletic director of the school. And
identified
today, as we get to it, I'll talk to you a little bit about our characterization program here at the school and our classroom management system and also athletics. So there's several things you guys will need to know related to athletics before we start.
maybe
Maybe what? You're going to have so strange and interesting things. People that suddenly.
I'm Agnes Camp. I'm the school counselor here. I've been here now for 3 years. I'm working here in the district. I was down in February, so I see a couple familiar faces already in the crowd. But I'll be talking more about the scheduling with you guys.
Okay, so we'll get started here, and we'll go through as much of this as we can, quickly as we can. But we talk about this with our staff and our teachers all the time, okay? At the middle school, this is the foundation of things that we do. These are the things that we get in, and then our business we do on a daily basis. Number one, we want to have good, strong relationships and positive relationships with students. If we don't have that, we can't get anything accomplished. There's nothing that we can do here if we don't have a good relationship with our kids. And we pride ourselves on that. We pride ourselves on our teachers, our kids being able to have at least one connected adult in the building. We work on that through advisory and just other things in the building. We do PD. Because I know our teachers all the time, you can have the best lesson in the world, but if your kids don't care, if they don't know that you care about them, your lesson is not, okay? That is something that is very, very important to us here at the middle school. And that we try to ingrain in our teachers' building. That happens in the hallways, that happens when your kids, as they're coming into your classroom, coming to the 40 events, being choir, being at lunch, and things like that. So it's something that we take very seriously, and we feel like we can't do any of these other things unless we do that bottom part really well, okay? We do focus on strong instructional practices and an academic focus. Our teachers are constantly in PD, going over the curriculum, going over the things that they've created for creating post assessments, looking at all that kind of stuff. So instruction is also a very, very important part of what we do here. And then we have a couple things that we try to be really good at. We try not to be average at a lot of things, but we want to be really, really good at a couple things. One of those characters, we're going to talk about that soon. We have ICU, we'll talk about they maybe need a little extra, or tier 3, they may need a little bit, even just more than that. So those are the things that we try to do here at middle school, and we focus on all those things on a day-to-day basis. Okay? Also to create a school climate where kids are running into our building and not out of it. And so we've just did, pictures in here, types of things that we've got there. I know this year you guys folks have already come home, but typically 6th graders don't bring folks home yet, so that's kind of new to middle school kids whenever they get here, okay? So one of the things that we mentioned that we want to be really good at is character education, so I'm going to let Mr. McKinney talk about that.
We began a real intentional approach to character education several years, about 9 years ago, at Farmington Middle School. And with that, we worked for, I guess, 4 or 5 years, and then we were actually recognized as a state and national school character 2 years ago. We were one of only 65 schools recognized as such. So it's something that we're very proud of. However, that's really only as good as the kids that got you there, and each year it's really a process to try to teach those values, those core values that we have each year to the kids. It's been especially tough the last 2 years with everything being interrupted, over the course of both school years. So it kind of a mess. This year is not the norm. This year we did not have a character council for the first time since we first began this. We have a character council. And the character council is a group of kids that get selected to this through an application and interview process, and they really guide a huge portion of our character education process at the middle school. And we didn't get to do that this year, but we will be back on track next year. So soon we will be application interview kids for that, and all those kids. But as far as the character education program goes, when I said we're intentional about it, one thing we do is we have our character education class for our kids, and that's going to be taught as an elective in next year. Okay, so next year I have an elective class, and when I say elective, it's not really elective. We're putting kids in class. So kids will have this character education class where we teach our core values. And our mission statement is we are values with integrity from the inside out. And what we want them to understand is there are certain core values that make who you are. And if you have the values, then that will pour out of you and it will affect other people as well. And then, of course, you see some of the stuff listed that we teach, that we talk about, whether it be accountability or honesty, humility, empathy, something that all people, if you read Facebook, apparently we all need to know that. Okay? So there's a lot of core values that we try to teach these kids because there's a lot of these things that are lacking in our communities, in our schools for sure, in our communities, and just in society in general. So our goal is to make sure that we teach those values and we're real serious about doing so. And we will get back on track next year. This year has not been the best year for it because we just, to be honest, we're just keeping our heads above water right and trying to get here with what started out with really quarantines and different rules changing on the daily. Mr. Jenkins has a saying that he always has, and this year it's just been so good. He says, a lot of times when things are tough, he says, it just feels like we're building this airplane while we're flying it. He says that a lot. And this year it's felt a lot like that. So, but we will be back on track next year with our character education program. And then, of course, we look for teachable moments with our kids. Besides having a character council with kids that have an opportunity to serve, besides having this election, okay, besides making that a teacher, we look for teachable moments to where we can put our kids' attention to those values that we're trying to teach through different situations that come up. Whether it be in the school or in our communities, in an athletic contest, we try to point their attention to that and say, this is what we're talking about. So they see it firsthand and really as it's going on. So we're intentional about teaching character education at Farmington Middle School. Like I said, we're a national school of character, and the kids that are right now have nothing to do with that. So we hope that it can continue to be a national school of character, state school of character, when we get reevaluated, and that will largely due to the kids we have now and the kids that are coming. So, anything else about character education?
I think so.
It's also part of our media management program, which we'll talk about later.
So, I don't come from the normally I do the majority of the talking, and he's perfectly fine with that most of the time, but I am also a 6th grade parent, so I told him I wanted to come take a seat and have him, come on, take over this, but he didn't seem like he was doing it, so. We each year we like to quotes from our incoming current 7th graders that were incoming to us, and so it just because it's always funny, what their perspective of middle school actually is. And so it says, I have more freedom to talk to my friends at the middle school. I've also been able to make more new friends at the middle school. And another quote was, we have way more hands-on learning at the middle school. I learn better through hands-on activity, and I really enjoy learning this way. So it's always nice to hear when you can hear kids say positive things about their transition. So everything you need to know about having a student in middle school, like I said, I'm here with you. I will have a daughter in this building next year, so I'm not 100% sure how that's going to go. If she's going to deny me, or she's going to allow me to still be, I'm her parent, still be in charge of her at home and at school now. So this will be the first time that I've ever had a kid in my own building. So your student will rarely ever bring home information to you. Okay, it just doesn't happen. As we get older and older, we don't stuff backpacks here in middle school. So you really go get onto our school webpage. Okay, and I wouldn't click on it, but if I exit this, then it's going to mess up my whole thing. So basically, just on Farmington, homepage, familiarize yourself with the middle school. And things that are on there. You put a like on Twitter. You don't have to be on Twitter. You can just go to the school homepage and leave it there, and it's got all kinds of information, pictures, links, anything that we're doing here, anything that we have done. We would like to, promote our school with the things that the kids are doing in class, the things that they're doing in their sporting events and their regular activities. So please familiarize yourself with the middle school website. Okay. And as I mentioned, this is one of the most important ways we communicate. And again, you don't have to be on Twitter. You can just go to the webpage, to our middle school page. We do have a Facebook account. All of our information gets put there as well. And again, we take the things that are going on in the building, our activities, and try to promote the good things that our kids are doing. And then we also have an Instagram page. Most of the kids, they follow this one. They like to see what's going on. If they, happen to get on the Instagram, school Instagram page, they think that's a good deal. To do well. And then lastly, School Messenger, and that's been kind of new this year, but actually this is Mindy Southern is over there, and she's the one who kind of runs our School Messenger page. So if you don't have that or hadn't already signed up for that, make sure to do that. You can also do that on the school webpage as well. So we will push out lots of texts that with just school cancellations, maybe the bus is running late, or any important information that there will be in the school. Homework and tutoring. There will be homework in most subjects, and we work on thinkers and math as well as all other subjects. Okay? Being assigned after-school tutoring is not a punishment. Lots of kids think that. After-school tutoring is an opportunity for you to get more help. You needed more support from your teacher. You needed more time to study. You needed to retake a test. You needed just that extra, maybe a small group setting where your teacher can focus and work with you a little more. If your child gets assigned after tutoring, it is not a punishment. Okay? And we like to make sure kids know that it's not a punishment. It is an opportunity for you to get better as a student and for our teachers to provide for you. We normally, on a normal year, again, we do tutoring on Mondays and Wednesdays after school till 4:20, which is similar to what Lincoln did. I don't know if it was the same day now. And then we provide transportation if you need that as well. Otherwise, it's today or assigned. Just like you would after school. Okay, ICU is one of the things that we mentioned on our pyramid of things we had. ICU is basically a program here at school, and it's for us to help students get their work completed. Okay, so we have a thing, it's a database, it's a website, and then we have a thing that's called the ICU list. So let's say you have an assignment, if you've had older kids come through here, you might already know what the ICU is. But you get an assignment in math, assignment 7.1, you don't get it turned in. Your child doesn't get it turned in. They get put on the ICU list, and what that does is it sends you an automatic text message that says your child doesn't have 7.1 math completed. And then when they home, you say, hey, why don't you have 7.1 math completed? And they do it, they go back the next day, and we take them off list, and then you get a text that says your child has completed math 7.1. Okay? It is really a fast, accountable system to help all of us communicate better. Okay? You will also receive an email that gives you a little bit more detail about what the assignment is assigned, like when it was due, how late it is, and different things like that. Okay? But this is something that we use on a daily basis. Now, some kids, again, they need more support to get off of the ICU. So what we do with advisory, we have first period of the day advisory. always a place where they can get extra help. We do working lunches in the library. Our library is still, so if you have an assignment, you can also go into the lunchroom and have working lunch, or we sign after school tutoring. And there's just some cases you just can't get your work turned in and get off the list. You might need a little bit more time. Saturday at school can provide a little bit more time to get that done. So that's something that sometimes parents freak out when they see it the first time and they get it and they're like, you know, my son is on the ICU list, and they get panicked and they read it wrong and they actually think it's like from the hospital. It's not. It's just from us helping to communicate with you guys about your missing assignments. That really has happened. Okay? So this is old data because, like we said, last year we got it down. This year we've been, you know, in and out. We had an extra 2-week snow break, you know, in there. So we have to keep up with this. But even the first time we implemented this, after 1 quarter, our students in 7th grade dropped from, we had 47 Fs the previous year. One dropped to 26, and in 8th grade they had 92 and it dropped to 44. Right? It is a huge accountability system. There's no opting out of it. You don't get to not do your work. Right? You stay on that list until you get it done, and we will continue to provide opportunities for you to get that done. And that's how we phrase it: is we will continue to provide you time, resources, whatever it is you need in order to get it done. Because we feel like if we assign it, then it's important enough to collect and get it back. I'm not just going to forget about it and say, you don't have to do this. Okay? There's more freedom in middle school, especially during lunch. I really enjoy being able to sit with my friends during this time. When I came to middle school, I was worried about not seeing my friends as much, but since I play basketball and track, I have other chances to hang out with my friends during this time, and I like being a part of these teams. That student is actually in here right now, so I will point her out. Okay? I love taking pictures of our school and trying to tell our school story on social media. And like I said, because there's so many times where the negative things get shared, so I'm always posting things going on, things like that. And you can see the golf holes here, and I've got both of them here. Our 10th class built an 18-hole golf course this semester. And so they did it from, they designed it, from scale, they had to scale out, they built it, and there are some really good ones, and it is functional. On PD days we had them out, we used them, and Mr. Barron, if we can we actually would to have like an after-school club, like a miniature golf, club or anything like that. So we wanted it to be functional. So that's something that we. Mr. Doty here is, I don't know if you can say, they read the book called Long Walk to Water. And he's got a jar of pond water. And the social studies teachers got something that acts as like a purifying agent, so they were showing the students what kids in Africa have to do to get clean water. And then we're always trying to middle school. Now we're during Christmas. We have our Christmas lights, and you can see now we've got our St. Patrick's Day lights that were out there as well. So I'm going to kind of turn this over to Miss Maggie, as we call her, and she's going to kind of this.
I spent February going into your student classes and going over scheduling and everything, but I do just want to touch on a couple of things. Okay. So what will your students' 7th grade schedule look like? So all 7th graders are required to take ELS, history, science, math, and social studies. They'll also have PE in their schedule. PE in middle school means all year long, every other day. They'll also have their schedule, and then another class that you see in schedule will be character leadership. That's not a required class for all 7th grades to take, but like Mickey mentioned before, we really value character here, so we want to make sure that you're in that class. Sometimes due to the flow of semester schedule, that might not happen, and that's okay. But you should expect to see that character leadership class. 7th grade teams. All right, there's 2 7th grade teams. Your student will be randomly assigned to those. Each of those 7th grade teams include an ELA, a reading teacher, a science, and a social studies teacher. And then here at middle school, we have all of the color wheel. We have A and B day. This is probably pretty similar to at Lincoln when you had the gold and black day. Just call them A and B instead. So you'll have for elective classes, maybe a semester for one class, and then you'll have an A have a B-Day class. That just means you don't go to those classes every day, you have them every other day, and then you'll also see students that do the same thing for second semester. So they'll have second semester A and B elective class. Music electives. This is pretty exciting. I know Mr. Lee already announced something and has met a lot of your students are interested in band. He actually already sent me a list of all of the classes that students need to be placed in for band. Your student can take beginning band. If they're assigned there and want to be in that class, they'll automatically be enrolled in beginning band. And then we have girls choir and choir option. Those as 7th grade students, they also just be enrolled in their boys choir or girls choir if that's something they've selected. Your student does not have to take a band or a choir class. That is not required in middle school. When you guys are filling out those online request forms, there's just a spot for you to circle neither if you're not interested in them, and that's totally okay. On the other hand of things, if you love music and want to be in choir and band, that's totally doable as well. I just want you to keep in mind that when we have students that are placed in band and choir, it does limit some of those additional electives that they're able to be placed in. All right, here's some of the additional elective classes that we offer here at the middle school. I know you guys have probably already read that FMS elective catalog. You're probably familiar with it all. I do just want to touch base with you guys about a couple of classes. So team sports and advanced fitness are two of the most popular classes here in the building. And unfortunately, we are only able to offer them 1 hour every other day. So they are in high demand, so if you selected those classes, I try really hard to make sure you're placed in one or the other, but it's a really good thing that you select some other elective classes you might be interested in as well, because it's kind of hard to get students placed in that class. I also wanted to touch base with you a little bit more on advanced fitness, so that's a pretty intense athletic working out in there. They are sweaty, they are sore afterwards, so if your student is not working out, it's probably not the best class of that particular day.
We always tell them, if you don't like regular heat, you're not going to like advanced fitness.
No. I think at the beginning of the year, every year, the boys that play on football team are like, listen, age, I cannot be in advanced fitness anymore because I am so sore after that class, I can't even work out in football. So if you don't really like working out, probably not the best class for you. Like Mr. Jacobson said, these are some examples of some of the projects they've worked on in STEM. There's an example of something that the students worked on in art as well. Are there any other electives you want to
You know, a lot of our project in the way stuff is all science, engineering, math based. Are good classes to take because they are good feeder programs into the next set of when you get into high school. So we have a lot of things that when we call project in the way that involves robots, it involves Gateway to Tech 1, our 3D printer that the kids use. We're actually this semester the STEM class that made the golf holes are making cornhole sets, but they're project leads away class doing the printing of the surface that's the vinyl. So like our classes work together and they try to do projects that are similar for things to do. So those things are all very science technology. We will actually introduce a biomed class this year, which is will be a really good feeder into high school biomed as well. So our project lead the way classes are really a popular choice here at school. Sorry, I'm so excited.
all right, there's a few other classes that you might see here in schedules. These are just based on test scores or maybe student or teacher recommendations. This would include your math lab, your reading lab, as well as JAG or perhaps a specific study class. So some of these are, you can't possibly indicate that you want to be in them, but you might be placed in them.
Chromebooks, most of the time they have not come home yet. You guys, sixth graders already have their Chromebooks. But it is very important. We use them every day here. Things that we talk about is just make sure they're charged. They come here, if they forget theirs, we have the Chrome Zone, which is in the library, and they go in and they get a loaner. They check the loaner out at the beginning of the day, and then they go back and turn it in at the end of the day. Sometimes they just need a for a long time, even on just a 30, 40-minute charge. So they can take it in at the beginning, maybe you're an advisor, and get that 30 minutes of charging, and come back and get it, and it'll still be useful for the rest of the day. We have chargers in the classroom that kids are able to use as well, but we try to do our best to secure those, but sometimes they go and walk off. So we try to have opportunities for them to charge in there as well. They do need to be responsible when they use them. And I'm not there as freedom. We can't block everything in the world. You can't block Google, okay? You just can't. So one of the things that Mr. McKinney was talking about, we just try to teach good core values so that kids don't make those mistakes. But it is something that you need to be aware of what they're doing and how they're using it. So teachers can invite parents to be in their Google Classroom. I don't know if you do that now. Every day at 4 o'clock, I get an email that says, here's what your daughter did in Google Classroom. So you're always welcome to be in your students' Google Classroom as well. You can get those emails so that you can see what assignments that they had. They have tests coming up. They post study guides and different things like that. A way to support your student. Other things to use the Chromebook are to be involved with SIS. You can do balances, you check their schedules, their attendance, their grades, all those things in there. One thing middle school students are not good at, I think they get better at it in high school, is checking their email, okay? But they're not great at it in middle school, so we try to teach them how to do that, and as part of that process, I've had middle schoolers post an entire email to me in the subject line. So Chromebooks, people send this out almost like clockwork every Sunday on our Twitter account and our Instagram account. It says students charge Chromebooks, okay? So it is important to bring their Chromebooks to school each day. I've already said that. Develop a plan for your student each night. Designate time to power down, charge their device so they are prepared and they don't miss anything, educational opportunities. I say this all the time, and I don't want to offend you. You are their parents. You can take it away. Okay? You don't have to have it in their room. They don't need it in their room. They need to be asleep. Okay? You can take it from them and charge it somewhere else. Okay? And that's, the kind of what needs to happen. Some struggle with executive function skills. They're not nice. They don't know how to, they can't get all their stuff ready to go in the morning. So they need your help with that. Be their parent. Help responsible. Charge it, not somewhere that's not in their room. Okay, Mr. McKinney.
Sports, I'm not going to go over everything sports related, but I will give you a few things you need to know, particularly for fall sports. Make sure to come in for the fall sport that you have a physical, a parent consent form, and a COVID waiver. And also, with 7th graders coming in, transfers, stuff like that's not a big deal, so I won't even go over that. That's just for new 8th graders. Make sure that you have those things ready to go before they ever go to a camp this summer. Okay, and before they go, when the school year starts, you have to have the consent form, the physical, and the COVID waiver. Those are the 3 things they have to have. A couple other things that are tripping people up that are new this year. One thing is if a student would happen to get COVID, okay, before they're allowed to play a sport, they have to undergo what we call the COVID protocol, return to play protocol. And that includes pharmacy, sports, and rehab, where their first 2 days back, once they're off of their own quarantine, they would have to go spend the first 2 days doing 15 minutes of activity at pharmacy, sports, and rehab, either Dave Burke or one of the employees there at pharmacy, sports, and rehab. And that way they can monitor their heart and make sure that that student is in okay shape, ready to return to play. They'll spend the next 4 days after that doing lighter activity than everybody else in practice if they've had COVID. And the coaches monitor them. Okay? And then on the 7th day, everybody signs off on that thing, and they're ready to go back to practice as usual. Now, those 6 days they're spending getting back into playing shape count as practice. So they haven't missed any practice time. Even though they did 15 minutes those first 2 days, okay, it still counts. But you have to undergo this COVID return to play protocol if you're a student here at the COVID. So that has to happen. Okay, concussions. Okay, if a student has a concussion, we also have a concussion protocol. Again, involves sports rehab. We have an agreement partnership with sports rehab. They work with us, and they always take care of our athletes. So again, those are things that you have to do. Those that you need to know about because they're important. If you don't do those things, then obviously everybody messes up, and that's not good for the kid. All right, so we want to make sure that you guys are aware of those things. As far as athletic teams go here, we try to help our kids do obviously there's more opportunity in high school, play different sports, baseball or soccer, some of those things, softball. But one thing we try to do is get as many athletes involved as possible. So in some sports, we offer not only the regular team, but we offer what we call the old team and black team. Okay, you might notice it's 8 teams and B teams. We change the name to old team, black teams. All right. What we're trying to do through those programs, we're trying to, one, in middle school, you don't know who's going to be good in high school. A lot of these boys come to middle school and they're this big. Okay. So they don't make the 18, they're 7th grade or 8th grade here. But when they get in high school, they may be this way, they may have, like a lot of muscle and be a much hairier kid than what we need. Okay? So we don't know how they're doing in high school. So we don't want to decide his future just like that in middle school. Okay? So we try to provide and that's why we have A teams and B teams. Kids should not be on the B team, I want to give up to the B team. That locks you in, okay? It just gives you opportunity to continue to improve. Alright? The thing that we're doing now with our gold teams and our black teams is we're trying as much as possible to work those kids together in practice and actually give them also some opportunity to move within the gold team and black team. So a kid does really well on the black team. Throughout the course of the year, coaches say, I have that kid tryouts. There may be some opportunity for that kid to move up to the gold team. Okay? So we're trying to do that as much as possible. It really depends on what the cutoff is, depends on how many kids come out. But we do our best not to say this is where you're going to be and that's it. Okay? So we try to give kids opportunity to continue to be reason to try to continue to improve and give a lot of kids opportunity to play. So that's kind of our philosophy here. If there are problems in athletics, okay, one, parents should never ever talk to the coaches after a game. That's not a good time to do it because everybody's emotional after a game. Okay, you should always wait at least 24 hours before you talk to a coach. What we recommend always first is your student talks to a coach and says, Coach, this is an issue. Okay, let the coach talk to the student. That's hard for a lot of kids, I understand. Okay, but then if it doesn't get resolved that way, then email the coach, contact coach through email and say, hey, I'd like to talk to you about this, or you can send them an email. Coaches will respond through email a lot of times. And maybe you can get it resolved. Okay? And then obviously the third option is all those fellows that contact me and say, I have this issue with athletics. Allow me then to talk to coach and see what's going on. If necessary, we can have a meeting. But that's not how we work things. One thing will not ever be tolerated is for somebody to jump coach at a contest right after a game. That would not go well. Okay, I'm just saying, game not. Okay, because they have a tough job, they're going to make good decisions, and guess what? They don't always get it right. And neither do I if I'm coaching, and neither would you. Okay? But it's a tough job. So what we don't want to do is ever play coach during the contract meeting and following the contract. It's always 24 hours before we approach coach about anything. Are there questions about athletics? Anything that I haven't covered that you would like me to have covered? You have a question, yes, because you're leading here. I don't have to answer any questions related to athletics. But again, physicals, and again, anything, whether it's dance, cheerleading, a sport, track, cross country, football, volleyball, you need to have those in before they're ever allowed to participate in any contest. Any physical, February this year or later is, or up to date, is good for this upcoming season. So anything February 1 is good for this school year. I think that's it. Anything else we got?
I don't think so.
All right.
Very detailed. Just a couple things left and we'll get out of here. We have some after school programs that we don't have something offer something all year long because the gym is being used by our teams the majority of the time. We're currently in archery right now. So we have 2 different days, we have 2 different groups of kids that stay and do archery. It's pretty fun. Teachers put it on, came in and shot the other day. And I did better about half kids. But I didn't have the fine instruction that they had also. We have academic teams as well, and our academic team, they just won the conference tournament on Saturday, so that's a good deal.
And we were seated 6th
Yes.
going into that thing, so they pulled out.
Yeah, so we were the Cinderella of the academic team this year, and ended up a great conference tournament. We have our spelling team that participated as well, and actually 2 years in a row, we have won the conference spelling team as well, so that's something that we're pretty proud of. We have a lot of opportunities there as well, okay? We will have a jumpstart day, and in August, it will likely be anywhere from 3 to 5 days, and we try to figure what are our expectations here at the middle school, we do team builders, things like that. So we will clearly communicate when that day will be. It is a good opportunity for your children to middle school right before we get started. Okay? We are not perfect. We know we're not perfect. We try really hard every day. We have an amazing group of teachers here. We have excellent support in the district. And like I said, we're going to take care of your kids. And we are excited for you guys to join us. What?
But I do want you guys to okay, I do, because it's important, because you're gonna think, kids are gonna think when they first get here, sometimes they're in trouble, they're gonna come back in trouble. Okay, you're gonna be like, why did the school call me if you got in trouble? Okay, we use a classroom management system known as BIS, Behavior Intervention Support Teams. Okay, and sometimes kids can say, I got in trouble. Well, if they get safety, when they get buddy murder, that's not real trouble. Okay, they're not actually in trouble until they're coming to my office and sitting across from me. They're not in trouble yet. Okay, so if they get safety when they get buddy murder because they got in trouble, they got read the regular class. Sometimes because they were disruptive in class, they send them to a buddy room where they have to fill out a think sheet. Okay, and a think sheet forces the student to look at it and say, okay, here's how I screwed this thing up, and here's how I can fix it. Okay, and then they have to meet with that teacher the following day in the morning session, that half hour they have at the end of the day. They have to meet with that teacher and go over their think sheet and come to agreement on how can we do things different. So that's how they're teaming up. Okay, they're teaming up when nobody's mad because the teacher's no longer aggravated the next day because they got to sleep on it. We have to take that 24 hours or close. Okay, they've had a chance to think about it. The teacher and the student can reconnect and talk about what the issue was in class. Why they got buddy room, okay, they look at their think sheet and they say, yeah, you put some thought into this, okay, and everybody goes on and apply. Unless they don't fill out the think sheet, they don't take responsibility for actions, in which case they would be down for one more day. They do the buddy room again, okay, until they get that thing done. And sometimes if they don't do that, you get a phone call from me saying, hey, this is the issue we're having, okay, they haven't filled out the think sheet, they're refusing to take responsibility for what happened. Okay, so that's how we work our classroom management system. So it's redirect, safe seat. You can't get together, safe seat means someone goes sit over here. I'm no longer part of the discussion. I can hear the instruction. I can be part of it. I can do my work. Okay? But anyway, I was distracted. I'm like a middle school kid now that I'm working here. So anyway, if they're safe seated, they can hear the instruction, they can see what's going on in class, and they just can no longer be part of the discussion because they're being disrupted. And if they can't get it checked there, that's when they're buddy room. Okay? And then our regular system of discipline, if they do come see me, okay, we also try to put measures in place. They're going to take responsibility for their actions, and they're going to learn what values, what were the things in your life, what were the values that were missing here, what were these behaviors, the positive behaviors that you should have had, and we try to teach those replacement behaviors. For instance, ISS, you know ISS is ISS. You sit in a cubicle and you just do your work, and it's fairly boring. Okay? ICE is still boring, okay? But we call it intensive character education now, and students do have an accountability plan while they're in there, if they're assigned that. And in that accountability plan, they have to again describe what was it that was causing me problems, and how am I going to fix that problem, and what adults in this building can I go to help fix that problem? Who do I trust? So we try to do things like that with our behavior management system here at Bristol. And again, this, if they come home and say, I got in trouble, and you say, did you have to go see Mr. G? They say, no, they weren't, we're in trouble. Okay? You know, they probably just got to say, see money. And that's very normal, and it happens to a lot of kids, because we teach middle school kids. And they are very, very rambunctious. Now to bring this from, basically, it's